Hello everyone and welcome to another Boyographic. I'm Matt and I'd just like to say thank you for subscribing and showing some love to this series. Yeah, our subscriber rating shot up over the weekend and I have no idea why. So thanks. I hope I can live up to your expectations, I guess. This episode of Boyograph is actually inspired by a good friend of mine, a fellow YouTuber called Vincent, who goes by the name of Retro Game. And in his latest series called Massive Damage, he talked about two of his first Game Boy games he has as a kid, one being Super Mario Land, the other being a game I was less familiar with, based on perhaps one of the most popular NES titles around. It's Solomon's Club. Solomon's Club is a portable version of Tecmo's classic Solomon's Key. You play as Dana, a wizard on a quest for knowledge to become the master magician Solomon. But this isn't a game about commanding the elements like the NES sequel, or some kind of action RPG. This is in fact a puzzle game, where Dana's magic consists of the ability to summon and dismiss stone. Yeah, the man's less of a wizard and more of a bricklayer in my eyes, but don't let that fool you. There is some spellbinding gameplay afoot. So, Dana must travel across 5 levels consisting of 10 rooms each, as well as one hidden room in which the player finds a seal that unlocks the final Solomon level, which consists of a further 6 rooms, meaning that the game is actually over 60 stages long, which is pretty impressive. In these stages you must battle monsters, literally jump through flames and avoid deadly traps to descend further into the labyrinth. Each level consists of a locked door with a key that the player must guide Dana to, snatch it up and hightail it out of there. Along the way you can collect several types of items that reward you with cold, hard cash, as well as a bell that summons fairies. Get 10 of these fairies and congratulations, you got an extra life. The game naturally gets progressively more difficult the further and further you go, as you race against time to get the key and get the hell out of each level. While you'd be forgiven in thinking that the time in this game is simply there to supply the arcade feel of the original game, you soon realise that points mean prizes, as the 10k countdown actually denotes how much money you get at the end of each level. And what do you use that cash for, I hear you cry? Well, dotted around the level are stores. It's the building with "in" written on it. I guess they were going for "in" like double N, but couldn't fit it on the translated sprite. Ah, Game Boy limitations. You are a tease. But inside said "in", there are wonderful power-ups to enjoy. A fireball to kill various enemies. A hammer that allows you to smash the dreaded mirrors of Chimera. Nice name. A water gun that lets you extinguish fire, as well as a hat and shoes for Dana. Dress up time! The store does also sell an hourglass to give more time, extra fairy bells, and even extra lives. That's the potion with E on it, which I guess stands for extra. But why do you need extra lives and time in a game with infinite continues? Well, it's because you lose your fancy hat and boots every time you do die. It's the sole reason, I guess. While the items are nice, the hat breaks blocks in one strike instead of 2, while the shoes make Dana run faster. These are nice things to have, but I suggest you spend more money on the other items, as not only do these carry over after continues, but generally make the game a little bit easier in the tricky later levels. Hell, there are even a few rooms that can't be cleared without them, in my opinion, such as level 3-6. The enemy design is varied, which offers a lot of challenge that mixes up the gameplay in a positive way. There's ghosts that fly back and forth, up and down. Goblins who go into a rage when they see you and charge you down. As well as a whole host of fire-breathing foes like dragons, looks like a cat, gargoyles, and lion's heads. Well, most of these creatures can be killed by using the good old make a brick, remove a brick strategy. Some enemies do require the use of a fireball to clear, while in the later stages it's almost impossible to stop and think about killing enemies, as the gameplay becomes more chaotic and heavily platform-based, relying on solid timing and quick reflexes to master. The game's score is a joy to listen to as well. Everything from the credit music, the hidden room score, and what I like to refer to as the hurry the fuck up theme, all amplify the game's mythical setting and help flesh out the world. My only real niggles with Solomon's Club is that sometimes the levels induce some crazy slowdown, and sometimes the more complex jumps are a bit of a pain to master. Dana needs to make a few seemingly impossible jumps in the game, usually over an obstacle that kills you instantly, resulting in a lot of frustration and a couple of retries until you get it right. When this does happen and you do get too frustrated, You'd be glad to know that while the game doesn't have a save feature, you can pick up and play anytime due to a pretty comprehensive password system, which, thank God, actually carries over your items, which is a nice bonus. But these two small points are nothing in the wake of the enjoyment and challenge that Solomon's Club has to offer. Great level design, beautiful looking sprites, and a truly memorable score are par for the course with this series, and while perhaps this game is not as known as its entertainment system sibling, Solomon's Club demands your attention just as much as Key. Please pick it up if you see it. It's a title that flies under a lot of people's radar, and undeservedly so. It's a solid game, it's cheap, and it deserves a place in your collection. And that's it, guys. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you everyone again who subscribed. Those of you who haven't can do so by clicking on the button there. Why not check out the rest of the Boyographic episodes and the Boy Curious episodes, in which I look at bootlegs and obscure shit for the Game Boy. Also, there's a Let's Play Together, which I've just started a game of Pokemon. I'll be uploading the first video tomorrow based on your choices, so there's still some time to get your votes in. Which version should I play, what should I start with, and what should I name that starter Pokemon? Until next time, guys, game on.